5 years, been better than these lines. If I push the pen past the margin on the side, you can feel the words and every part of them is I.
With this album, this is everything that all the other stuff was leading up to. There's a saying that says you take your whole life to make your first album. And I really feel like that because the album is me. It's honesty, it's reality. And the whole album, even though it's my debut and it's a direct reflection of me, it's a conceptual album at the same time. A lot of dudes had crazy pen games and was lyrical and couldn't make an album. I'm the exact opposite of that. Like, I make records, I made a real album, I made something cohesive, I made something that makes sense from A to Z. And that's what I wanted to do with the album, tell my story and talk about what I know, the world that I came up in, Brooklyn, New York, 718, the whole deal, and paint what I saw my whole life. The music for me was my salvation. You know, I could have went a lot of ways. Everybody I grew up with is out there on the corner, is behind bars, is in a box somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Different things like that. When you listen to it as a fan, as a listener, what's your salvation from turning down that road? You know what I mean? So you take records like My Interpretation, which is about addiction, Dear Whoever, where it's about wanting to give up on your dream because you put everything in it and nothing came back from it. You know what I mean? Like, all these is temptations that's out there, and it's how do you deal with it? You know, that's pretty much what the album's about.
Live from the bottom, made it out alive, I survived from the bottom. But when pushing the ride, I don't slide on the bottom. Any part of the lane that's been a part of the game is in the heart of my name.
I didn't want it to be something you listen to once and you got it right away and you was over it. You know, I feel like the album is so strong and it means so much to people, and it can stand the test of time. The people deserve to have it and live with it. Nowadays, people put out an album every 6 months, every 8 months, and you get over it faster. Nas was dropping every 2 years. Like, we lived with Illmatic for 2 years. We lived with, it was written for 2.5 years. You know what I mean? Like you sat with it and you savored it, you know? I think that's gone, that's lost, and that's why dope records fly under the radar so quick. Because it's like, oh, I missed that, well, I'll catch something else tomorrow. It shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? You should cherish the dope music. If it's corny, throw it out the window. So I wanted it to be something that took time to listen to it, took time to get it. You had to really be a listener and a fan of lyrics and a fan of digging through the surface to get it and cracking the ground to get it.
I'm from the 718, and if everyone's great, then that means I'm right in line for whoever won't wait. You get it? My popularity is sky high.
Brooklyn has always been competitive, whether it's MCing, hooping, you know, you go to a party, Brooklyn step in, where Brooklyn at? Kicking the door, what up? Who in here? What up? You know, that's always been Brooklyn. It's always been competitive, always been aggressive, always have been we the best. That's how we feel. You keep that mind frame no matter what you're doing. No matter you got a 9 to 5 or, you know, you doing your thing outside the street or you playing ball or whatever it is, we've always had that frame of mind to survive and live in Brooklyn and New York as a whole. You know what I mean? So I think particularly with the borough, it just so happens we come from that same cloth. And if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. Growing up around so much of that and being able to, you know, hear Kane and hear Big and Jay and Mos and Talib and Buck and Price and, you know, all that, Rock and all of them, it makes you want to step it up. You know what I mean? Like, with me, I came up in an era where you had to be dope. You know, late 80s, early 90s. You couldn't just say, yo, my image is dope. I got on some slim jeans. I'm out here doing it. I'm hot, I'm popping. You had to be dope. Like, you had to go in. You had to be able to spit at any given. You had to be able to make records. You had to be able to pick dope beats. That whole era was that. I came up in that. You know what I mean? So that's just the only thing I know, you know?